Mazajan, Ned, and Juanito at the edge of the Acmal Pueblo out there. Jungle. My part of the Pueblo was carved out of jungle 8 years ago, and it's primitive. I just was reviewing my video from much earlier this morning where I said the real reason I'm in Mexico, besides swimming in the Caribbean, came here so I could swim in the ocean every day, and that's true, is because 30 years ago, I realized that indigenous people from Central and South America knew something that none of us white people knew about how to be. And I've been haunted about it ever since. And I'm blessed, so incredibly blessed right now that two of my very best friends in Acmal are indigenous. They grew up speaking the Mayan language. And I'll include a link to where my dear friend Marcos, my landlord, speaks about the Day of the Dead in Mayan. And as he spoke, the crew of happy Mexicans next to him, and I'm here because the Mexican people are better and happier and wiser than Americans overall, and because the children are overall way happier and healthier than American children. That's absolutely true. It's undeniably true. Undeniably. But the power of indigenous spirituality, which is, they call it the Mayan Riviera. Right in the name of this area, it's not only playground for the rich and rich from around the world, it's where the Mayans live still. I want to tell a story that in that other video I told about how the Guatemalan refugees and indigenous people who lived with me influenced me. I want to tell a story about their language. They loved me. I had them in my apartment for 6 months, and they loved me and I loved them. And then I became not a part of that church community anymore. For some reason, moved to a different part of Chicago, I guess, and didn't see them. But right before I was moving to Cincinnati, Ohio, I ran into somebody from that church and told them I was moving. They said, well, we need to give you a blessing from our church group, St. Giles Family Mass Community, because we do that. When people move away, we give them a blessing. We want you to come, even though you've not been coming, come and we'll give you a blessing. And they chose Margarito, the dad of that Guatemalan indigenous family, to give me the blessing. And in front of the church community, Margarito gave me a blessing in English. And it was awkward. His English was not great. And as he got up to leave, I said, can you do it in Spanish? And he leaned into that because Spanish was his second language. And that was great. That was beautiful. And then Maria, who's tiny and retiring and shy, always in the background, came forward and gave me a blessing in her indigenous tongue, and there was not a dry eye in the house because it had power. It had power. So not only does Mexico offer an alternative that most of the expats who come here miss entirely. They don't understand that you could be learning from the Mexican people how to be a person. They think that, well, of course, I'm much more sophisticated. No, you're not. You're stupid compared with Mexican people. I'm here to learn from the land, from the Mexican people who are also wonderful. But I have an opportunity right now to learn from indigenous people. I try not to miss it.